Wait, what? South Africa almost hit the brakes on the entire country, but the government just slammed the door shut on chaos. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the stories shaking our world. No fluff, just the real deal with a side of excitement. Picture this, tensions rising like a pot about to boil over, protests planned across the nation, and hundreds of people already grabbing their bags and heading for the borders. It felt like South Africa was teetering on the edge of a full-blown national shutdown. But then, boom, the presidency steps in with a clear message. Not happening, not today, not ever. Let's jump into this wild ride together. Buckle up, because today's story is part thriller, part reality check, and all about what happens when a country tries to balance its big dreams with some very real challenges. It all starts with the growing frustration over illegal immigration. For months now, many South Africans have been voicing their concerns loud and clear. Jobs feel scarce, communities stretched thin, and some folks point fingers at undocumented migrants as part of the pressure. Protests started popping up, marches got organized, and whispers turned into shouts about a big national shutdown planned for the end of June. Imagine that, roads blocked, businesses shuttered, the whole country grinding to a halt. It sounded intense, right? Like one of those action movies where everything bolts to one massive confrontation. Hundreds of foreign nationals, especially from places like Mozambique, didn't wait around to find out. They packed up, said quick goodbyes, and crossed back home. Fear was spreading faster than wildfire in the dry season. Families worried about violence. Shop owners wondered if their stores would be safe. It was like watching dominoes starting to fall, one after another.
But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. On Friday, during a post-cabinet briefing, Minister in the Presidency Khumbudzo Ntshavheni stepped up to the microphone. She didn't sugarcoat it. She looked straight into the moment and delivered a firm warning that cut through all the noise. As we have indicated before, she said, there is nobody who's going to do a shutdown of this country, and we must be very clear about that. Whoa! Talk about drawing a line in the sand. No national paralysis, no total lockdown from protests. The government was basically saying, we hear you, but we're not letting things spiral out of control. Ntshavheni didn't stop there. She reminded everyone that South Africans absolutely have the right to protest. That's straight from the Constitution. The freedom to march, to raise your voice, to stand up for what you believe in. It's one of the beautiful things about this democracy. But she drew a clear boundary. Protesting is one thing, taking the law into your own hands is another. South Africans have the right to protest, and they can march as provided by the Constitution, she explained. But South Africans have no right to take the law into their own hands. That line hits hard, doesn't it? It makes you pause and think. In a country as vibrant and diverse as South Africa, how do we protect everyone's rights without stepping on someone else's? It's like trying to dance at a crowded party. You want the energy, the rhythm, the freedom to move, but you can't go swinging your elbows and knocking people over. No way.
Now, let's talk about what's really fueling all this. Illegal immigration isn't just a headline. It's a daily reality for many communities. Some migrants come seeking better opportunities, fleeing tough situations back home. Others might enter without proper papers, adding pressure to already busy systems. Housing, healthcare, schools, you name it. South Africa has always been a magnet for people from across the continent, a place of hope and second chances. But when numbers grow fast and systems strain, frustrations build. It's like adding more and more water to a bucket that's already pretty full. Eventually, something's got to give. That's why the government is stepping up. Ntshavheni shared that they're working hard behind the scenes to tackle the migration challenges head on. No vague promises. They're putting together a real plan. And the big reveal is coming soon. President Cyril Ramaphosa himself will address the entire nation. He's going to lay out the government's new approach to managing this crisis. Dates are still being finalized, but the message is clear. Action is on the way. Think about what that means. A presidential address isn't just another speech. It's like the captain of the ship announcing a new course while the waves are still rocking the boat. Everyone's watching. Everyone's waiting to hear the details.
Will there be stricter border controls? Faster processing for legal migrants? More support for communities feeling the strain? Or new partnerships with neighboring countries to manage movement better? The suspense is real, folks.
Let's zoom out for a second and keep it simple for everyone watching, no matter your age. Imagine your neighborhood as one big family home. Sometimes relatives and friends visit from far away, and that's wonderful. The house gets livelier, stories get shared, new ideas flow. But if too many people arrive without planning, suddenly there aren't enough chairs at the dinner table, the fridge empties faster, and everyone feels a bit crowded. That's when conversations start. How do we welcome people warmly but keep our home running smoothly? That's the immigration puzzle in a nutshell. South Africa is that big, colourful home, full of potential, but needing smart rules so everyone can thrive. Ntshavheni's words weren't just for the protesters, they were a message to the whole country. Calm down, let's do this the right way. Protests can highlight problems. Sure, they can push leaders to act faster, but violence or forcing a total shutdown, that hurts everyone, the very people you're trying to help included. Shops close, workers lose a day's pay, kids miss school, and fear spreads. It's like trying to fix a leaky roof by smashing the whole house down. Doesn't make much sense, does it?
She's had to explain the government's efforts before, and you can tell the pressure is on. Cabinet meetings, briefings, coordination across departments, it's a lot. But the message today was steady and strong. We're not ignoring the issue, we're addressing it. Details coming from the top very soon. Now, here's a fun comparison to make this stick. Remember when you were a kid and the whole playground got into an argument over whose turn it was on the swing? Some kids yelled, some tried to push others off, but the teacher stepped in and said, "Everyone gets a turn, but we play by the rules." That's kind of what's happening here on a national scale. The government is playing referee, reminding everyone that the Constitution sets the rules of the game. Of course, the story isn't over, not by a long shot. The planned shutdown might be off the table, but the underlying worries about immigration aren't vanishing overnight. People on all sides have strong feelings. Foreign nationals who left in fear might be watching nervously to see if it's safe to return. Local communities want real solutions, not just talk. And the clock is ticking toward that presidential address.
Imagine the energy in the air right now. It's like the quiet moment in an adventure story, right before the hero unveils the master plan. Will President Ramaphosa's words calm the storm or stir up even more debate? How exactly will the new migration plan work? Will it include more resources for border security, better legal pathways, or crackdowns on illegal activities? We're all on the edge of our seats. One thing that makes you go, no way, even with all this tension, South Africa keeps showing its incredible spirit. This is a nation that has overcome huge challenges before, from building a rainbow democracy to hosting global events. Resilience runs deep. The key now is channeling that energy into smart, fair solutions that respect everyone's humanity while protecting the country's future. Folks, stories like this remind us why staying informed matters. Immigration touches jobs, families, culture, and safety. Basically every part of life. Getting it right isn't easy, but ignoring it isn't an option either. It takes clear thinking, open conversations, and leaders willing to make tough calls. Ntshavheni's firm stance today was one of those calls.
As we wrap this up, let's remember the human side. Behind every protest sign, every border crossing, every worried family, there are real people with dreams and struggles. Finding balance is the adventure we're all part of. But wait, what happens next? President Ramaphosa's national address could change the game. Will it bring the clarity everyone's craving, or will new questions pop up? Stay tuned, because we'll be right here breaking it down the moment it drops. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat. We cover the stories that matter with energy, honesty, and a bit of that storyteller spark. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think the president should announce? Have you seen these tensions in your own community? Let's keep the conversation going the right way. Thanks for joining me on this ride through today's big news. South Africa's a country full of heart, hustle, and hope. Tomorrow brings new chapters, and I can't wait to explore them with you. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep asking the big questions. See you soon.